Brexit.
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 Fuck up.
Freedom.
Disaster.
Revolution.
Chaos.
Opportunity.
Dangerous.
Don't want to hear that word again.
Everybody had an opinion and wanted to talk about it.
And I don't think until that point I had quite realised just how angry and upset people outside of London were at what had been going on for the past few years.
I think the ideology of the EU is a rather lovely thing. However, I think the reality is something completely different.
My initial thought was, yeah, this is really, really good. I'm really quite excited. I was excited for what awaits us.
I felt let down by the establishment, let down by the media, let down by political parties, all political parties. They're all to blame for this.
And you have to take a deep interest in the news in order to make an informed decision these days. And I think that's why the vote went the way that it did, because fundamentally people vote the way that Rupert Murdoch wants them to vote.
This is sort of Shakespearean, but not in a good way. I thought that somebody came up with a new word which I thought was good, which is pseudocracy, which is governing by lies.
I actually saw the Leave vote as a rejection of the establishment by people. There are a generation of people who have had their lives destroyed by this government, destroyed by austerity.
What annoys me is this referendum didn't need to happen. It really didn't need to happen. And it was done in such a way that it created such a division.
For me, the stuff that was coming out from the Leave campaign was so dangerous, so vitriolic, so just so base, and it's not at all how I feel. So about immigration, so I was beginning to feel really torn about voting Leave.
I live here, and I want to stay living here. And feeling unwanted in a place that you call home is, not something that us as white Westerners experience very often, I guess.
I think that when people have this elitist attitude to calling them stupid or to say that they're all racist, I think is missing the point. However, I don't think we should let people off as well. I think there's certainly a percentage of a population that chose to take that xenophobic path, who chose to take a racist path.
There has been a rise in hate crime. I have seen graffiti and posters that say, once we've got rid of the foreigners, we're then going to get rid of the gays.
And sadly, it's probably the same kind of newspapers who actually said, pull out of Europe. Can I say the Sun? Can I say the Mail? Can I say the Express? People who actually supported pulling out are now the same kind of newspapers who are fueling this xenophobia kind of headlines that are going on.
It's making me question my identity and myself. Like, is being brown wrong? Is being an ethnic minority wrong? Is being called Omar wrong? Is my parents being of an ethnic minority wrong? Are my parents bad people just because they were asylum seekers when they were 3 and 4 years old?
It's a basic tenet of, if you want to rule, you keep people down here looking at each other. You keep people down here thinking, that person's out to get me. That person that looks like me, sounds like me, moves like me, works like me, but he's out to get me because he wears a blue t-shirt and I wear a red t-shirt. Whatever it might be, it's all spurious. As long as people are doing that, what they're not doing is going, oh, what are those people doing? What are the people up there doing?
There are people who voted Remain that are rightly angry, although for the wrong reasons. They're angry because they saw the Leave vote as a racist vote, and because of that they're very angry and they want something done about it. Now, I don't agree that the Leave vote was a racist vote, but if there's someone who's angry because they see a rise in racism and they want to do something about it, then there's someone that I want to work with and campaign with. There's someone who I've got respect for.
A lot of people were very, very upset, and it did damage friendships for a while.
I knew that once I stood up for myself and told the truth that I had voted for out, that I would possibly be in for some stick, and I was right.
I have one friend who I haven't spoken 2 since the day of the referendum.
And I thought it was quite interesting. Those people that apparently are friends with you who don't like your political stance and therefore they're not your friend. Well, surely that's not friendship.
I have seen relationships break down, and my hope is that that's a temporary thing that's happened, and actually over time people can start to have conversations, can start to realise that as important as politics is about serving the community, it's about serving society, and society is all about inter and intrapersonal relationships. If you're letting those personal relationships suffer for politics, it's probably the wrong way round. So as pleased as I am to see people talking about politics, as people are getting passionate about politics, I also think in many ways our individual relationships have to come first.
The disparity in this country is huge, and I think that people must be aware of that now after the vote. I think that is the most pressing thing that we have to deal with.
We have to talk differently about people. We have to talk respectfully and with dignity about people. We have to recognise that every single person, no matter where they come from or what circumstances they're born into, wants to be able to fulfil some of their hopes in life. And if you don't build an infrastructure that enables that to happen, they're going to kick back one way or another.
There are a generation of people that have got absolutely nothing. They've been left behind by society, and I think that for a large part of it, it was about them giving the establishment a bloody nose, and I have solidarity with those people.
I really feel that this is a time when we need somebody who says, I have a dream, and this is what it's going to be.
I think just because you've lost a referendum doesn't mean you stop fighting the arguments. It doesn't mean that you call the other side stupid. It doesn't mean you dehumanise them. But it does mean that you continue to hold on to those principles. And when the principles that feel so deep that they feel intertwined with your identity, of course it's going to hurt. But it's that hurt that means it's even more important that you don't delegitimise this by turning it into something, like a soap opera. It just means that actually you need to be calm, you need to be level-headed, and you need to fight those arguments. And at the end of the day, you need to win those arguments.
I can't remember where I heard this saying, but it might be from some Buddhist monk or someone. But anyway, the saying was that sometimes out of the most disruption can come the most good and the most positive change. And I can't help but think that we've reached rock bottom here now, and the level of uncertainty is at an all-time high. So I'm hoping that whatever comes out of this is change for good.